All right, good evening, everyone. Welcome to this Discover ASEA Redox. This is my honour to be here this evening sharing this information with you. We are just seeing amazing results all across the world, and our intention tonight, or my intention tonight, is to ensure that you have the privilege of hearing about this technology that is changing lives, the potential that it has for possibly you and your family, and then just share a little bit about who the company is as well. So over the next 40 minutes or so, I will cover each of these categories for you. And at the end, if we have time, we're happy to answer some questions for you. We'll stop the recording. Okay, so what we're going to talk about tonight is how this may benefit yourself. You may have been invited tonight because you have a health challenge or someone you know has a health challenge. You may have been invited because you understand alternate therapies and you want to take a proactive approach towards prevention. You may be looking for more energy, endurance, performance, repair, and recovery, or you may just want to look and feel better. And our other category is for those that are looking for a cause or a mission or a purpose in their life. And this company has all of those categories. We are here making a difference in people's lives all around the world, and we are looking for people that want to join us in this mission. So first of all, I would just like to share with you how I came to be here tonight. And that was 6 years ago when this little puppy in the middle, actually was 12 at the time, 12 and a half, and he was really unwell. He was our first baby, and he was diagnosed with an extremely high white cell count. Now, unfortunately, we were going to have to say goodbye to him. His feet were falling out from underneath him and he'd gone blind. And right at the last minute, my mother-in-law rang and had said, look, someone has just introduced me, the chiropractor actually has just introduced me to this product, and it does something to do with repairing cells. Why don't you give some to Toby? So that day we started giving some to him. And we just got a little syringe and poured some into the cup and pulled it up and popped it in the side of his mouth, and we would just push it down the side and let him drink it. We did that probably about 20 times on the Saturday and the Sunday, and little changes were shifting. Well, within 2 weeks, we found that he could walk and see again. And then he actually lived for another 2.5 years after that. So this journey of that time, we also were able to watch quality of life come back into his body, even though he was aging. That was our first incredible experience. Our second one was with our daughter here. She had fallen face first onto the concrete and landed on her 2 front teeth. Nothing else, arms stuck in her jacket behind her back. So she really damaged them. One had a infection and the other one turned black. Now, the dentist wanted to pop her into hospital and pull those 2 teeth out at the age of 4. And of course, I had my mummy meltdown moment, realizing she's not going to have 2 front teeth for 2 years. And then we decided that we would use this technology, this product that we were using on the dog, for her. And so we would get the gel version of this, and we will rub it over her teeth and her gums, and we were getting her to drink the liquid as well. Well, within 30 to 40 days, that infection was gone. And within 10 months, her black tooth turned to light grey. Both of those phenomenal results. A great sideline of that was that prior to our journey with this and learning about this product, we had been running around naturopaths and GPs and Bowen therapists and chiropractors and everyone looking for a way to fix her gut health. Every time she would drink dairy or eat gluten, we would have an issue and she'd be in the bathroom. So what we found was around about the 6-7 months mark where we were giving this to her, we weren't running off to the bathroom anymore. Unbelievable. So it's funny how things shift over time and we don't necessarily notice them immediately. And that was our journey. And from there, our whole family decided that we needed to know more about what this technology was, why it was working, who the people were behind it. And that's where our journey began. So what are we talking about tonight? We're talking about redox signaling molecules. And first of all, to understand what they are, we need to understand what they're not. And they're not another food or vitamin, mineral, antioxidant, exotic juice, alkaline water, essential oil, CBD oil, energy drink, or steroid. They're not anything that we have known to date. ASEA Redox is the missing link. It goes beyond nutrition and ingredients, and it goes to exactly where every cell in our body needs to perform. This is simply empowering our body to heal naturally the way that it's meant to. So, what is redox signaling? Redox biochemistry is actually a new field of science, and your doctor may or may not know about it. Less than 1% of the population knows about it. Universities all over the world have redox labs to study this biotechnology, and I look forward to sharing some of those results with you tonight. This breakthrough is years ahead of its time, like 10 to 15 years. However, personally, I believe that what we've been through over the last 3 years, has actually brought that further forward. People are looking for a solution now, and this is something that is becoming very well known, or starting to become well known. So today's experts are now recognizing that redox signaling molecules are one of the most significant health, anti-aging, and sports performance breakthrough of our lifetime. So let's cover why they're saying that. Now, I've broken this up into 3 easy points because I want you to be able to go away tonight and remember some basics of what we've discussed. And the way that I've broken them down, very simply. So if you need science, we can provide that later. But first of all, we need to know that our bodies are made up of cells. We are made up of trillions and trillions of cells. And those cells are heart cells, skin cells, bone cells, blood cells, kidney cells, liver cells, etc. Every single part of our body is cells. And we're constantly in a state of protecting those cells, detecting damage so that they can be repaired or replaced. So right now, as we're chatting, our bodies are doing that. And that is happening because of this signal, this cell signal, which is called redox signaling. So our body is currently looking for rogue cells, viruses, bacteria, fungus, and parasites. And as you would know, when our cells are healthy, we are healthy. So we are born with this function. And when we hit puberty, we decline by 10% per decade for the rest of our life. And that's just our natural aging process. It's also why, as we age, we don't recover as fast as we used to when we were younger, and maybe why our immune system is not as strong. And then over the last 100 years, we've been very clever and we've introduced a whole lot of new technology. And that has produced extra toxicity, stress in our body. And our body's in a continual state of trying to fight and keep itself well. So when it's not well, we know that that natural healing process, it becomes slow and sluggish. And that's when we begin to see and feel those effects of aging. I think we could all resonate with that in one way or another. So the good news is that particular function in our body has been recreated outside of our body, and it's been put into a product that we can supplement our body's signaling. This is absolutely fascinating. For over 2 decades, there is a company that has spent millions of dollars. There's multiple patents on it. And they were able to achieve the impossible with recreating that in the exact same format as what is in our body. So this is the first time that we have something accessible to our health that is not a drug. I'm not saying that there's something wrong with those. They certainly have their purpose. It's not natural, and they have their purpose too, things that are made from plants. This is native to our body. This already belongs in it, and what we're putting back in is exactly the same format. So the minute it touches our body or touches our mouth, our body knows exactly what it has to do with it, and it gets to work at improving that signal that we were just talking about, so that our body can find any issues that are going on inside of it. How exciting is that? Another way of putting this, what we just said on those last 3 slides, is if our house was on fire, we would need to be able to pick up our mobile phone and call the fire brigade, because the fire brigade has all the tools to be able to put that fire out. But if our cell phone does not have enough signal, then the message is not going to get through to the fire brigade, and they're not going to arrive on time. So in this instance, our body's cells are the house on fire. The mobile phone is this redox signaling molecules, whether they be naturally in your body or whether they be in this product. So by amplifying the signal in our body, we're increasing the chances of our body's immune system and natural healing process to come on over and find those damaged cells anywhere that they may be in our body and begin the repair work. ASEA Redox is the only product available today that provides these redox signaling molecules that are critical for this signaling process. Now, as we said before, every cell in our body needs this signal and uses this signal to know if it's healthy or not. So that means that redox signaling impacts every major body system and function to protect, repair, and replace. Now, the obvious question is to ask, how is this made? And this is a patented process. So our version, what we can have is that you would know that our body is made up of 70% water. And that water in our body is a saline solution. So when we go to hospital, if they need to give us a drip, what's in there is a saline solution, and they use that to rehydrate us. If we cry, our tears are salty. And that is what our cells are filled with, is this saline solution. And this is where this reaction happens. So naturally in our body's utilizing that saline solution within every single cell to convert into a redox molecule in a nanosecond and send the signal to the immune system and then come back and turn back into saline solution. So to recreate this so it is native, the company starts with pristine salt and water, found exactly the same as in our cells. They break the atoms apart into free-floating atoms, and they're restructured into the same format as a redox signaling molecule. And this is a picture of our plant in Utah. And the people in this photo are Tim and Wendy. Now, they're from Toowoomba, where I'm from. And they had the opportunity to go over a few years ago and see all of the production of this product, which would just be fascinating. I'm looking forward to going back to the States and seeing this myself one day. So this process, as we said, it's heavily patented, it's verified with studies, and we have universities studying this product as we speak. So tonight we're going to cover a couple of the companies that have done some research and given us evidence of why people are seeing the results that they're seeing. But a couple of the new ones down here on the bottom row is the Western Sydney University and the University of Bath. Both of these companies, universities, have recently provided us with some information and backed up why this product is doing what it's doing. So we have a really great link where the corporate doctors are sharing this information for you. And if you would like that link, just send me a message after and I will send that to you. If you would like to have a little bit more research about the science side of it, I'm going to send you to some websites. And that would be, first of all, the aseascience.com. And the second one would be pubmed.gov. So PubMed stands for Public Medicine. And any peer-reviewed articles are placed on this website. So in here, once you go into PubMed, if you could type into the search bar redox signaling molecules and then have a look at how many results there are, and then narrow it down to something that's more specific for yourself. So if you could pop in redox signaling molecules, diabetes or neurodegenerative or cancer, or you can put in whatever you like there, and then have a read. Some of the journals you can understand, some of them are over my head, but you can have a read of what role redox plays in these diseases. So that has nothing to do with the company. That is just peer-reviewed scientific journals for your information to see that this is legitimate. Redox biochemistry is a real subject. Plenty of books that you can order. A couple that I recommend having a look at is these ones over here with Healthy Matters and Redox Matters by Dr. Lee Osler. He also has a number of other books out now, but he has a great way of explaining and connecting the dots with redox biology. So back in 2016, you may have heard of the Huffington Post. They're an online journal. And yeah, back in 2016, they published this article. They said, here are 5 of the craziest game-changing technologies that are starting to take off. Pay attention. Some of these will shape our lives in the coming years. And number 4 on that list is redox signaling technology. What they had to say, I'll read it out in case you're on a phone and can't see it. They said, redox signaling molecules have been around for eons, but it isn't until recently that we've learned about their central importance in our health on a cellular level. New technology is emerging that inserts healthy redox signaling molecules into your body, helping it to repair and replenish your aging cells. Since we're made up entirely of cells, every organ in the body can potentially benefit from this new technology. How exciting is that? Okay, and it is. What we've currently been able to do now with this technology is actually get to the causes of our problems. I don't know about you, but sometimes it just feels like the years pass and we've gone around and around in circles, popping band-aids on all these little issues, and we're not actually getting some decent results. So this is finally something that can get to the cause of any issues in our body and allow our body, give our body the strength and the ability and the signal back to be able to get on top of those issues. Okay, so ASEA is really renowned for their flagship technology, which is the redox molecules in a liquid form in the bottle and in the gel form, Renew 28. They're working from the inside out and the outside in. We have some supporting products that we will cover, but the ASEA Redox itself is 100% safe. It is non-toxic. It's not natural. It's native to our body. So as I said before, we're going to cover just a couple of the studies that were done, and I think you'll like this one. So you may have heard of Terray Laboratories. They're a company, a genetic testing company that tests for the likes of Ancestry.com. So ASEA engaged with this company and they asked them to do a double-blinded placebo study over 8 weeks. Now, during that 8 weeks, 100% of the participants on the product, being double-blinded placebo, meant that some were on the product, some were on a saline solution, and then there was a control group. So 100% of the people on the product had an improvement. Whether they felt it or not, their blood showed that they had an improvement of between 20 and 31%. And that improvement covered 5 gene pathways. Those pathways are our immune system, inflammation response, our heart health, cardiovascular, our digestion health, and our hormone modulation. They have 5 significant gene markers that every participant had an improvement. Unbelievable. So just underneath one of those pathways is another 15. And I'm going to read some of these out so that you can hear what they are. So pathway number 1 is serotonin. 2 is brain signaling. 3, circadian rhythm. Number 8 is insulin signaling. 13, spinal cord injury. 10, hormone signaling and infertility genes. And then pathway number 4 is NRF2 pathway. Now, that one is phenomenal. This particular pathway, as you may have already heard about antioxidants, because that has been the rave for the last 30, 40 years. Now, antioxidants are important, but what redox is the other half of the story. And our NRF2 pathway is our body's ability to be able to naturally produce glutathione, which is our body's ability to be able to combat oxidation. So you may know of some companies that do sell some products to do with that particular product and that particular function. But what that's doing is popping in something into our body that it needs to process and then do the job. Whereas what happened with this study, our body naturally produced more of its ability to be able to create that antioxidant function naturally. So that is huge. And the stats around that is 800%, up to 800%. So if you ask me for that other link on the science, the Bath University have done some other studies on it, along with Sydney University, and they're backing up this information. Okay, so now with a Renew 28. It's called Renew 28 because the studies that were done on it was over 28 days. This particular study by Dermatest was for anti-aging. It showed that we had these improvements in cell renewal, smoothness, wrinkles, elasticity, cellulite. In 28 days, the participants had an improvement between 16 and 23%. Again, the percentages that we saw before, between 20 and 31%, and then between 16 and 23%, these percentages are huge. If a pharmaceutical company does a test or does some studies and they find some results, even 2 and 3%, they're happy to send that out to us. So the fact that these percentages are enormous means a lot. The big one on this one is blood flow. So by applying this gel topically, the Redox molecules topically, the study showed that it increased blood flow and circulation by 50% after 15 minutes, promoting healing. It's helping with skin challenges. It's helping with, this is our family's first aid kit. I don't leave the house without this. We needed to go to a art and craft class today for my daughter, and along goes my phone, my keys, and a tube of Renew 28. Anything that happens, we pull out the Renew 28. Cuts, burns, stings, maybe an ache in your head or any part of your body. This is absolutely phenomenal. Discomfort relief. The way to see if this works is to ask the person who invited you to do a 3 in 5 test on you. If you have some discomfort in your body, then rate it from 1 to 10. 10 being really bad, 1 being okay. Then apply this 3 times within 5 minutes. So you're shaking the tube up, getting a blob maybe about a blueberry size, popping it over the particular area that's causing you an issue. Or if you can't reach that area because you're in public, then you just pop it over your neck and you're wiping it into your carotid artery and your vagus nerve. So you'll rub it in over there. So you'll pop it on once, wait a minute, pop it on again, wait a minute, pop it on again. And then 10, 15, 20 minutes later, have a think about the discomfort that's going on in your body and re-rate it. And then tell the person who invited you. 9 out of 10 times, we have phenomenal results with that. So I want to point out, though, that, you know, if we go and take a Panadol to relieve some discomfort, that is actually going in and it's blocking the pain receptors. this is increasing blood flow. So yes, all right, you're getting some discomfort relief. But what it's doing is it's also identifying and alerting the immune system that there's a problem here. You need to get your workers over and start doing repair. How amazing is that? So give it time. If you have an issue or have had an issue for 10 years, Dr. Wayne, who was on last night, shared that you might need to say, allow 10 months for a particular result. It's different for everyone. We can't give you a specific amount of time, but the thing is, these studies show that it's working every single time we apply it. So if you've got something that's a real bother, use it like an addict and apply it repetitively until you start seeing some results that you need. Okay, so we're going to have a quick look at some pictures, some before and after pictures. This is some people that are using it on their face. You can see the first photo. The neck is a huge change after 28 days. So we do encourage you to make sure that you take before and after photos yourself, because we just don't notice the changes when we're looking at ourselves in the mirror every day. As you can see, this is an issue that generally young people have to battle with. Now, this is something that we are proud to say that athletes can use. And because, as we said before, it's native to the body, there is no toxicity level. So they're getting phenomenal endurance, repair, mental stamina, recovery in their training and in their performance by using both of these products. If you want to have more read about the athletes, go onto YouTube and say, for instance, type in ASEA athletes, but you can also pop in James Lawrence, and he talks about how he uses ASEA Redox in his training. And there, on the ASEA athletes page, you'll find a whole lot more information. One particular one I just want to point out there, in case we have an athlete on tonight, is that it increased VO2 max. Now, what that means is, if we're going really, really hard, and then you hit that runner's wall and you can't go any further. Well, in this particular study, it showed that it improved that by 12%. If you were to bring that back to, say, you trained really, really hard for a year, you could increase your VO2 max by 2%, 1 or 2%. If you were to take illegal drugs, then it may be 4 or 5%. So the fact that these athletes are getting a 12% increase with something that's native to our body is phenomenal. So if there's anyone in the world that's not very good at sharing this, I would say it's the athletes, because it's their secret weapon. Okay, so as I said, this particular product, we can also use it on this issue. You've been out in the sun too long. That happened to us on the weekend. My daughter, we climbed a mountain and she looked like that. So comes in handy. And then repairing any issues. It's worked great for scarring. This particular lady had a cat scratch, and she was desperate to get the product while she was at a conference on the Sunshine Coast, and our beautiful friend Sharon jumped in the car and took her a tube of Renew, and this was the night before, and then the next morning she sent this photo. As you can see there, she's still in the hotel room. So what would you say? She hadn't done anything else in there. I'm not saying you don't do that, but she was able to get away without having to put other products in her body. So this particular gentleman was using it for his head. As you can see, he's got a few wounds on there and maybe some damage from the sun. Okay, I'm going to quickly click over and then I can come back. I just wanted to give you a warning that there is a gross one for anyone who doesn't like gross things. So I'm going to flip back now. If you need to look away, do so. But this particular lady in Brisbane, and her dog accidentally bit her hand. And she wasn't interested in going and seeing the doctor, mainly because she didn't want the dog to get in trouble, because it was a true accident. So she just came home and she would drop the liquid into the wound. She was then popping the Renew on it when it got to a state where she could put the Renew as well. and she just kept putting this on. I need to put the times on this. I'm sorry. I thought I did have them on there. But the difference between here is 30 days. But it was healed up. And again, there should be a photo there in the middle. That particular one there was actually fully healed over in 10 days. And then it's just gotten better and better from there. So that scar today is hardly noticeable. All right, so this is our beautiful Maria Hopwood. This is actually her Zoom site that we're filling in for her tonight. And as you can see here, this is Maria's photos from 2015 through to April 2023. Look at the incredible results at how, although she's aging, she's looking younger. Again, using it for skin health. And this is some gentlemen that are using it for skin health. It has no fragrance, and it can be used by everyone. All right, so I love this photo of Rosie. She was 84 when she started with this product. She was drinking it, and she was using the topical version. Thankfully, her son took a photo, because 7 weeks later, she said, "Can you please cancel my order? It's not doing anything." And they were able to take a photo, and she was able to see what changes were happening in her body. So needless to say, Rosie continued taking this, and this is Rosie at age 86, 87, and 90. Isn't that unbelievable? It looks like the photo should be back there front. Okay, so this gentleman is a veterinarian in the state, and he wanted to know if this worked. Again, we all have, the skeptical side in us needs to be able to see something. And this gentleman put it on half of his face for 28 days. And as you can see, one half is a lot more firmer, and the glasses are higher on his face. Dr. Marty Moran, I see him every Monday on our prayer group. And so he's still here. I don't know if it's 6 years later, sharing this product and using it in his clinic on animals. Okay, so this gentleman, I've got 2 more that I want to share with you tonight for these results. But this one was important to me because, as I said earlier, our result was with our dog and with our daughter, and I wanted to know what this was. So I came to a live one of these presentations in my town, and the presenter that night was this gentleman. And he shared the same information about the technology that we have discussed, but he shared his personal story. And that was when he was diagnosed at the age of 44 with an extremely high white cell, with a blood, abnormal cells of the blood. And we need to be able to not say disease names because we need to be compliant. So if you'd like to know more information, then you can chat to us later. His condition meant that he spent 2.5 years in Sydney North Shore Hospital. And after that time, unfortunately, the doctors said to him, "I'm sorry, but this isn't working, and you may have 6 months left to live." Dan obviously was devastated and trying to enjoy the last time that he had. He was traveling around Australia in a juicy van when he got a call from a friend who said, "Hey, I've got something, just come across something that might be able to help, and you need to check it out." So Dan's story, the short version of it for tonight, is that he started on this, and this particular issue, he found that his bloods were clear after 12 months. It was no longer found in there. So unbelievable. It's important, though, if it's got a big issue like this, that you're working alongside somebody so that you can use this product correctly and optimally for your body and get support. So Dan's story is online. Again, we can share that story with him telling it for you, which is just unbelievable. So I did walk up at the end of this presentation 6 years ago, and I eyeballed him, and I looked in his eyes, and I just wanted to know, like, this is phenomenal. Like, this information that we're hearing tonight is life-changing. And I wanted to know, like, you're telling me the truth, aren't you? Yeah, and it's true. It's true. I found it here, and we found it when we went over to the States and met the company and the founders. And yeah, it's a very special product and a very special company. So our next person happens to be online tonight. Thank you, Julie. And this is Julie's story. Do you mind if we unmute and maybe you share your experience to this? It'd be a nice surprise for everyone.
No problem. Okay. So along with a lot of other health challenges from the age of 16, because I had a ruptured appendix and literally had peritonitis and was in hospital for a couple of months and nearly died. Lost an ovary at that point at 16, lost the next one at 25, just had lots and lots of health challenges and started to get these issues from sun very early on. So had many operations. Those arrows are just pointing to other scars on my forehead from previous operations before the nose and the cheek thing. The next one is, as that nose was healing, if you could believe it, they actually took more out of my forehead. That was after. The other one is the other two are drugs that they use to treat this. So the first one is Aldara, which I had many times, pretty much looked the same, except some in different areas, because it kind of just excites the immune system from the inside and attacks the nasty cells. And the last one is very famous and important to me, that picture, because it's the reason I am involved in this company, because I put that picture on Facebook. That is Effudex, and a lot of people have tried Effudex. I did it a couple of times, and at that point I did my whole face. You can see where the other scars are. I did my whole face and my chest, and I put that picture on Facebook and said, so I started, what the heck, I tried everything else. So I listened, and that back 10 years ago, and I of me a huge out of eyes, just because my nose always had it. This last treatment was actually treating a particular thing on my nose, and it didn't actually go away, and it kept coming back, and Renew would kind of it would go away for ages, but then it would come back, and eventually after like 7 or something years, my husband said that really needs to go, and I said, yeah, I know, it's not going, it's not going, gone, it's going, coming. Anyway, so I went and had that done, which I needed to do. But literally that is one thing that I've had in the whole time of using Renew. And of course I started taking the ASEA because the Renew was so amazing. But and that scar, the piece they've taken out of my nose, you can hardly see, it's gone, and the scar between my eyes, because of course then I had Renew. It's the first time I had Renew after an operation to actually use it, and has healed up amazingly well. So I thank God every day for being introduced to this product. Absolutely.
That's great. Thank you, Julie. And Julie, you've gone on now to help people all around the world. You travel to Asia with Dr. Wayne and BK and the team over there, and help many people all around the world. So what you do is amazing.
Sorry, I'm coughing.
It's okay. Thank you. Thanks for sharing, Jules. Okay. So it's really great to hear people's stories live, and there are so many of them. I'd encourage you to ask the person who invited you to join our online Facebook group. It's a private testimonials group. It's got over 200,000 people in it, all sharing their stories and their experiences and asking questions about this technology. So Amanda, when you hop into that, yes.
Can I just say that was my experiment? They're my photos.
Oh, this one.
Yeah.
Excellent, Jules. That's great. All right. So your first one is you've got a rose in ASEA, Your second one is rose in salt water, and then the third is rose in water after 5 days.
Water. Yeah. It was just a bunch of flowers that pretty much looked like the last one. They were dying. They were roses. They were sitting on my kitchen bench, and I just looked at them and thought, oh, wonder what would happen if I did an experiment. And I did an experiment, and I took photos as I did it, and I truly was blown away by the result. That end photo, it seriously looked like the others, and
unbelievable.
It was unbelievable. I was absolutely shocked at the result, to be honest. And I've done it a couple of times since with the same results.
Oh. And I think it's really great to have that there, because sometimes people will say, you know, there's a placebo effect. And you know what? If there was, oh, whatever, if it's working, great. But, you know, when it's working on animals and it's working on plants, then I think that just cuts out that argument. So thank you, Jules, for doing that. All right, so there are more than 50 ways to use this Renew 28 product, and we have a great list. We can send that to you later. You can have a look, but some of the things as we saw tonight in those pictures were bites, stings, cuts, burns, scars, joint issues, hormonal issues, digestive challenges. So just the hardest thing I think when you get this, when you've ordered it and you've got it in your home, is to remember to use it as a first aid kit, because then it'll blow you away. And the other thing is, it sounds a little bit, I say, like you don't care, lack of empathy, but if possible, take a photo. So if someone has a cut or a burn or something like that, and it's possible to take a photo at the start before you start putting Renew, you're going to see pretty significant results. So, you know, if you've got blood coming out and you're popping Renew on repetitively for the first couple of minutes, it will literally coagulate in front of your eyes. So you'll want to be able to have a look back later at the differences and how quickly things were changing. All right, so it's really important to stress tonight that ASEA products are not intended to diagnose, treat, or cure or prevent any disease, medical condition. All they are doing is empowering our body to heal naturally the way that it was meant to do. And again, as we said earlier, it's important to set correct expectations. So some people do see results. 10% of people see results in a month, but 90% see results in 3 months. So it is important to track your results. You know, write down on a list somewhere things like your sleep, your discomfort, your whatever issue it is in particular that you're looking at. We've got a bit of a form there of some ideas that you can rate, but rate them out of 1 to 10 and do that every month for 3 months and go back and have a look at your results. But it definitely is working every time we do it. And that's why I feel comfortable in sharing this with someone. Not only is it not putting any more junk in their body, it's native to their body. And no matter whether they stay on this for a week, whether they stay on it for 10 years, every single time they use it, it's fixing something somewhere in their body. Okay, so briefly, I want to just point out that there are some other products that ASEA has. I'm not going to go into depth with them. We can send you some further information. But we have our Redox technology, and that is what ASEA is famous for. About 7 years in, 8 years in, they realized that the associates, the people that were using this technology also are using other products to help with their health. So they're getting nutritionals. They may be using a functional beverage to support their body, or they're using skincare. It is important that we have products and use products that are not filled with junk in them, that are just filling up our body with more toxins and chemicals that the Redox then has to go and fight and clean up on a daily basis. If it's continually cleaning us up, then it's harder for it to go and look and get to the issues that may have been hanging around or developed over our aging process. So these products are all made with top quality ingredients And as I said, they are very, depending on what you currently buy for nutritionals, they may be slightly more expensive, but there are no fillers in these. So first of all, the skincare regime in it. This is Maria and I down in Melbourne having fun. I just threw that in there because I could. But we were down there sharing this technology. And the skincare, we were putting on people live and taking photos and watching on their hands before and after photos. We would do one hand and then compare the other hand with this skincare. And after applying each of these products, we found that the hand that we applied it to just looked more vibrant and clearer and lighter. So in the kit, there is a toner, a cleanser, I should say, a toner, a serum, and a moisturizer. And some of the ingredients in that is your sea fennel, beetroot, chamomile, edelweiss, custard apple. So beautiful natural products. And when you pair that with the Redox, then you've got that extra benefit of beautiful skin. The skincare, every single one of those 4 components is doing all of these. So every one of them is hydrating, exfoliating, soothing, protecting against environmental factors, reducing inflammation, redness, wrinkles, blemishes. It's increasing collagen and elastin production. It's improving our antioxidant properties in the skin with vitamin A, C, and E, and it's increasing our cell communication using vitamin B3. So they're just made to build on each other as you use the product. They're fragrance-free, cruelty-free, gluten-free, as we said. There's no artificial colours. It's suitable for all skin types, of course. Everyone's different, and sometimes we may have allergies to certain things. So, of course, their company does have 30-day money-back guarantee on them as well, which is really important to know. All right, so this lady was using just the hydrating cream. She didn't use any Redox or any of the other products. And as you can see there, over 4 weeks, you can see that her skin has improved with some smoothness and wrinkle depth. So imagine if she added in everything else. As we said, the 4 products, there's a skincare system. And after you've done the cleanse, we add in the gel, the Renew 28 in there. Okay, so we know it's important to be giving our body this signal now, but for the last, everyone knows how important it is also to give our body nutrients and minerals, and we're just not getting those from our food anymore. So the 4 products that the company have brought out to support our health, you know what? I'm going to skip to that and then come back because I just jumped to it. Rightio. The 4 that they have brought out is a whole food micronutrient. So basically your multivitamin, it's just got a whole lot more in it. They have a purple one, which is a biome. So it's got probiotic and prebiotic. There is a Life Max for active lifestyle and vitality. I love that one. I don't know if it's just me, but when I hit 40 a few years ago, I noticed that was something that definitely for me works almost immediately. So I can take that in the morning and feel like I've got more energy for the day. And then the 4th one is your omegas. So the omegas has omega-6 and omega-3 in it, and it's got a really great coating over it so that it doesn't give you that fishy burp coming from your breath. So those are the 4 products that are nutritionals, and each one of those is made to give you that extra nutrient and minerals in your body without the fillers in your body. All right, so the 3rd category is cell performance. Now, these are made to replace maybe a drink or that you would have at the start of the day or the end of the day to support, first of all, energy and then mind. Those 2 are great to have at the start of the day mixed together. So mind is replacing our, helping with our brain fog, mental exhaustion, clarity and focus, and our energy is just, it gives you that sort of, for me, it gives a burst around about half an hour after I've taken it. So you tear off the little sachet and you pop it into a glass of water and you mix it up and you drink it within 20 minutes of making it. The mood is good for anxiety, stress, and it gives you that sense of calm and relaxation. So it's a great one to have in the evening, and you can have it hot or cold. And then our fourth one is Radiance. So this is a collagen supplement. Now, what's interesting about it is it's different to anything else on the market. It is vegan. When a product starts with, say, like, a animal product, that animal product has amino acids in it that need to be broken down by the gut, and then it goes through the body and it does its work and it starts to help our body support its collagen production. But this product skips that. They've gone straight to those amino acids. So the minute that you take it, our body then can start producing the collagen that it needs and supporting that collagen production. So this is a really great product. I recommend trying that. And then again, if you do start it alongside and you're already taking the Redox, take some more photos of your face and just have a look over a period of time of what's happening there. So a couple of these products, you need to just speak to the person who's invited you to access those, and we can help you with that. Now, this particular functional beverage industry, it is massive. As you would know, there are a lot of products out there. I don't want to mention some of them, but a lot of young people are taking them to keep them awake or energy. But if you were to look on the back of those, on the ingredients, they're just simply not good. Our body has to try and clean up that we put in. So these products are made with natural ingredients that help our body's natural redox potential and give us all the same benefits with fatigue, brain fog, stress, and our skin and health, our skin and tissue health. And but in an amazing natural way. So the other purpose of these products is, why, when we go to build a house, we need to have, if we've got a vacant block of land, we're going to have, the builders are going to send all the materials to that block, and then they're going to send in the workers and they're going to build the house, right? Those products are there to be the materials. And then the redox part is the workers that come in and build it all together. So this is just a beautiful synergy of technologies that can enhance our body's overall wellness. Okay, so just to wrap up tonight, I really want to explain why you're hearing this from me and why you're not getting it necessarily from off a shelf or from a doctor. And this particular company started 14 years ago. There was a biotech company that had been producing or working on this technology for 20 years prior, and they were having trouble getting it to market. So they engaged with this gentleman, Bertus Norton, and Bertus was retired, but he had had a career as a vice president of strategic marketing for Kraft Foods for 35 years. And so he was asked to have a look at this technology and see if he could help them work a way to get this out to the world. He had a look at it and realized the enormity of what this product or this technology could do for humanity. And he handed it out to 40 of his family and friends. He asked them to use the product, and in 2 months' time, if they could give him some feedback. Well, in 2 months, those 40 had turned to 135 people. And it was in 20 different countries, and 6 people of those were terminal. They were seeing some positive results. So he knew that people would drink it. He knew that they would share it, and he knew it was working. So the next logical step for him was to help this company get the product out. So he engaged with the pharmaceutical company. Big Pharma that he engaged with didn't believe him. They said, what you've got is impossible. You can't recreate that outside the body. So he sent them some product, and within 3 days, they were on a jet plane flying to this biotech company where they offered them generational wealth to buy the technology, the products that were out there, and the equipment. Bert has had a decision to make, because he obviously had given this to people that he loved and cared about, and he knew what this was going to do for the world if it could be accessed. He didn't know, because he would not have access to it anymore, if it would even reach the people. And he didn't know if it did reach the people, if it was going to come out at maybe $1,000 a bottle, and who was going to be able to afford to use it. So thankfully for us, he declined that offer. And at the age of 69, he started a company called ASEA. And that's why we are here today. He said, we are valued in life largely to the degree that we make ourselves valuable. And he's chosen to leave this as a legacy to us, to the world. So from age 70 to 80 is where he invested his time into this company and the people to get the word out. When no one really believed, no one really knew what redox technology was. It's only really the last 5 years that universities are studying it. And, you know, imagine those first few years in this company trying to convince someone that we had what we had made out of salt water. I can only imagine how difficult it was. So we're telling people how this exists through word of mouth. There is plenty of education. There is plenty of support here to help you be able to share it with your loved ones. So please get in touch with us if you need this explained. Because yeah, it is new. It's not, you know, it's not a category that we already know of drugs and natural. It's a whole new category. It's native to our body. We're currently in 33 different countries all around the world. And tonight we have Hawaii represented, and we have India represented. We're not in India, by the way. We just happen to have a beautiful lady who's checking it out. And we are all around the world sharing this technology. So we have changed many, many lives over the last 14 years of this company. And we need help because, as we said, less than 1% of the population knows about it. So we need your support and to be able to share your stories to get the word to those that possibly need this as a life-saving, whether it be with their health or whether it be financially. So ASEA's mission statement is to better people's lives and be a force for good in the world. And one of the ways they do it is through this Advancing Life Foundation. In there, we support a number of organisations, and we're building wells in Cambodia, supporting education of young women in Ecuador. And of course, I think everyone now knows about, because of the recent movie that was released, we're starting to learn about a really big issue in the world that Operation Underground Railroad is part of in helping to combat child trafficking. So ASEA is just doing what they can to help people all around the world. You can have a look, a little bit more information about that at advancinglife.org and/or support if you like. ASEA's vision is to become the recognised global leader in cellular health and redox-based technologies and achieve worldwide distribution of our life-changing products, financial opportunity and culture. We're the only company in the world that has redox signaling molecules outside the body. So this is a phenomenal opportunity for us to be part of something brand new. Imagine being at the start of Apple. I don't know, whatever it may be. But we're here, and ASEA help in beauty, anti-aging, health and wellness, and athletic performance. But tonight, with this information, you know, you may need to process this a little bit more, but there are some options that you could do. And first of all, we appreciate the fact that you come and spend some time with us. And I'm just grateful that you now know that this technology exists. So whether it be for you now or whether it be for you in the future, at least you know that it's here and you can come back and get support that you need from the person that has invited you to take a look at it. Another option that you can do tonight is you could say you might just want to use these products for your own health, for your family's health. So we can help you look at that and work out what's best for your needs, for the health issues, for the budget. You may want to share this technology with those that are around you. And as we said before, the only way that this company is getting the word out is word of mouth. So they're not paying any other advertising or marketing. they will reward you for sharing it if the person chooses to take it on board. And the third option is there are a lot of people out there that are struggling to find something that they can do, maybe from home, that they don't need to travel into an office for each day, whether it can be present for loved ones for many reasons, whether it be raising children or looking after family members. And this is something that we can do from a mobile phone and a Zoom. Like, look at us all tonight. We're from around the world and we're chatting. So all we're doing is sharing the information and supporting people on their journey. And there are a lot of people that have created this as their full-time income. And that's Julie is one of those. You know, Julie was a hairdresser and she is now been supporting people with ASEA for the past, I think it's 6 years, Jules, isn't it? 6 or 7 years.
8.5. 8.5.
Is it really? Okay. I feel like the last few years just cut a few off our life. We forgot about stuff. So for me, I am a homeschooling mum, and this has been just a phenomenal way that I can give back, be part of the community, be part of the world, and change people's lives, along with being present for these such short years of our children's lives. Like, I can't believe she's 11 and a half. And yeah, time's going way too fast. So these are our options tonight. This is just some of our family and the ASEA family, some of the people that we have formed amazing friendships with over the past 7 years, time we've spent with them, bonds that we will have for lifetime. So it's a very special place to be. Vertus Norton said, "We're all at the start of something big with great purpose, and right now is the moment we begin influencing the future. We can change the world." So thank you to Vertus. Thank you for yourself for showing up tonight and for listening. And I encourage you to get back to the person who invited you or get in touch with us after and have any of your questions answered. Thank you very much.